yeah,
Oh shit!
yeah.
Okay. Start
Streamer
recording.
move?
No. I think streaming is okay. I just
Uh,
didn't record, so I was like, something's
yeah.
missing. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, as usual, hello everyone, and welcome to the 12th and final episode of Rogues Gallery Podcast Season 1. Maybe there's a Season 2. Who knows? Maybe you can let us know if you should come back for a Season 2. And where we talk about all things D&D and TTRPG. And this week, all the main casts are actually here, and I think this music is a bit too loud. Okay. All the main casts are actually here.
Yeah.
For once.
Hello.
The OG.
And Fari says he's gonna join, but possibly join, but we don't know if he will come. So we'll see if he comes or not. But if he doesn't, that's alright. We'll have fun with it ourselves. So yeah, as usual, we are sticking with the same format today. Just the good old news stories and homebrews on top of a bunch of some other things. Maybe, who knows? And yeah, it'll probably be a bit longer today. Maybe, who knows? So we'll see how fast we get through all of this. Anyway, let's give it to Ray.
Hello everyone, welcome back to news. So this week is slow news. There's not much going on this week, right, guys? It's there's nothing much at all.
I feel like you're lying to us, Rain.
Other than the fucking one D&D that just released, I think the day after we did our last episode. So the stream itself, they're talking about how they're going to move forward with D&D 5e. So just so you know, this will not invalidate the previous edition, which is 5e. They are going to build upon it and make it essentially kind of like, you know how they rebrand basically. They don't want it to call it the 5th edition. They want it to call the edition. Like that's the only one there is. That's one D&D.
So like a game that you just keep updating and stuff.
Yeah. Basically, like if like Final Fantasy had Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, and then Final Fantasy 14, they decided, you know what, it's not gonna be Final Fantasy 14, it's gonna be the Final Fantasy, and that's it. That's the only one from now on, and they just keep updating to it. So that's basically what they're aiming for. So there's not gonna be any 6th edition like we expected, like I hoped, but it's more of a 5.5 kind of thing where they're gonna revamp it a little bit and show it to everybody. So there's 3 main things that they talked in their video. First of all, they are going to focus on the rule set, and then the I think they call the digital delivery or something, and also digital Dungeons and Dragons. So first of all, the rule set, they are revamping the rules a little bit. As you can see right now over here, that's the playtest materials for character origins. We're gonna go through that in a bit. There is also the where they are partnering with D&D Beyond now. Well, sorry, not partnering. Wizards of the Coast acquired D&D Beyond. So now from now onwards, for example, the Dragonlance book and everything, all purchases you will also get the digital code for it. So you don't have to worry about buying. Yeah, exactly. So moving forward,
I can now play a war game and then have a digital version of it.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have to pay on D&D Beyond again to get it.
Yeah, exactly. Just so people understand, the reason they did not do that before, because D&D Beyond and Wizards of the Coast are 2 different companies. They can't just give D&D Wizards of the Coast can't just give free codes to people because D&D Beyond needs to make money. But now that they are one company, like D&D Beyond is underneath Wizards of the Coast, they can do that now. So yeah, whatever materials book that you buy, you will also get a digital code, and you can redeem it and use it on D&D Beyond. And finally, they have the digital Dungeons and Dragons. Basically, Wizards of the Coast want to get into all the virtual tabletop market, and they wanna compete with, from the looks of it, Tailspire. They're gonna have 3D. Yeah, from the looks of it, in terms of appearance and everything, it's exactly like Tailspire by the looks of it. But they are yeah, the only thing that I can see that's really different is that they are really emphasizing on making it look like a miniature. So they have that, really zoomed in kind of camera with where the foreground and background's a little bit blurred. Certainly that's their main thing. But
Is
beyond that,
there
it's
is there an article for this?
uh, no. This one I just watched the video.
Oh damn! Okay.
I'm summarizing you the video.
I
So yeah.
also a comment is they're using a different render engine as well, so that
They're
gives
using
like
Unreal. Yeah, they're using Unreal instead, which comes to my worry because not everybody have good computer. That's the reason why I stuck to Roll20 and
Foundry.
Foundry in the first place because it's 2D and it doesn't really require that much requirement. And the most important part, if you ask me, it's free for the players. You can just go in there, maybe register, you can immediately use. Usually, all these tabletop stuff you're gonna have to maybe buy, and you're gonna have to download it and everything. So those are all additional blockades that makes it people not really
Hardest to get
interested in.
into, especially
Yeah,
if it's your first
exactly.
time. There's so much to commit to, which sucks.
Exactly. So D&D is already kind of like a very hard hobby to get into. So what I usually do, I try to make it as easy as possible for people to get started and get to the quote unquote fun part. Why I say quote unquote because in the beginning, creating character is boring, and then moving forward when you're already into D&D, oh my god, I want to create new characters and new characters and new characters. But yeah.
I don't think so. I've always thought creating new characters are the fun parts.
Oh, well, there you go. That's for you, I guess. But yeah. We're gonna go back to the rule set itself, and here have it up. So the main thing that they've revamped is the character origin. Now I've given it a read, and I must say, you guys, it's not bad. It's actually kind of good. So in
Heresy.
this, no, I'm telling you, this is actually quite good. I kind of like this one better over the Tasha style. So just for people who don't know, the Tasha style is basically you pick two ability scores. You pick one ability score, you get 2 points, and another ability score, you get 1 point, and then you choose, you get dark vision or a skill, and then you get a feat. I think that's it, right, Aina?
Yes.
So when you create that kind of character, it becomes very generic because they only have the feat is the only thing that makes their character unique. Otherwise, it's just do whatever you want. Now the ones that they are doing over here essentially is similar to how we do in Homeworld, where there's the race, the backgrounds, and then the languages. The race only gives you kind of like the usual creature size, movement speed, and all that, and also a racial trait. This is what you would call the Fey ancestry, or the dark vision, or the dwarvish stoutness, or something like that. So all those kind of thing comes from the race. Now the background is the one that actually determines your ability scores. So from the background, you can pick from a pre-made background, like how we do in the current background. They will give you 2 points into one ability score and 1 point on another ability score, and then you'll get a you get to pick a feat, and then you get to pick a skill, if I recall correctly. And then you get to pick a language as well. So it's very similar to what we have right now. The only difference is they move the ability score from the races and they put it into the background.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's essentially it. So the races maintain their kind of like uniqueness, and then the ability scores, they just move it to the background because background's more flexible and you can pick whatever ability score you want. If you ask me, I think one way they can make it better is to split between the two. Like half the ability score comes from your race and half comes from your background. But it's not too bad. It's not too bad if you ask me. So
Hey.
what do you guys think about this part so far?
Hey, Crit.
Yes.
Are you still seeing the scream?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this a typo?
Supernal.
Supernal. I don't think so.
I don't
Is that
think
a
so.
word?
Correct.
Is that a word?
Supernal.
We can surely Google it,
Relating
Aina.
to the sky or heavens.
Oh,
Celestial.
it's not a typo. Huh.
It's not a title. It's not supernatural or something. It's just supernal.
Okay. That's a new word.
Yeah.
Learned.
The more you know. But yeah, as you can see, like the races itself doesn't give any ability score, but they still have that unique feat. Dragonborn have Dragon's Breath. Humans get the additional feat. Tieflings get their spellcasting and so on. So all those unique traits are still available for you for the different races. So race don't become boring like Tasha's.
So Robojack says, interesting that backgrounds have feet. Apparently, some folks also relate artlings with humanoid animal folks.
Really? From what I can read,
It
it's
looks-
closer to Asimar,
Yeah,
essentially.
because of the supernal beings. But I guess it's this part, the exalted, and the wondrous nature of the beast lands.
Yeah.
Maybe
And
I
then
have no idea.
yeah,
Like,
and
in
then they
all
also
these
have
beast
created like a
lands, so-
section there where like humans of many worlds, where it's basically sub races. Sub races instead of it branches off from the original race where there's elf, you get certain traits, and then if you're a high elf, you get additional traits. This one is just separate races apparently, because Ardlings and also humans are like. Also, sorry, no, Ardlings are different race entirely. Never mind.
Yeah.
Man, I want to play biblically accurate angels. Can we make that a thing?
See, that's another thing as well, because they seem to be a bit more flexible in terms of creature type, because you see there it's specifically stated creature type humanoid, and from what I read so far, they are starting to become a bit more flexible. You can be whatever creature, you can be whatever like creature type you want, depending on the race, of course. You can be like a construct, you can be an ooze or something, depends on what is it. It kind of shows in the latest Spelljammer book as well, which is what they were going for. So yeah, that's the yeah.
I do have a question about like attributes being logged behind backgrounds, because does that mean that like every rogue will have background criminal or whatever? Which sounds kind of bad.
Yeah. It's like how backgrounds work currently. You can have the pre-made background, but you can also change. Okay, you know what? My character is a criminal, but he's more of a mastermind kind of thing. So can I change the thieves tool? Change it to I don't know, map cartographer tool, something like that's how it is in our current background. That's the same one as this one as well, where you can swap the ability scores around. So really, ability scores are option. You can put wherever you want. Skills you can put whatever you want. The language you can pick whatever you want. The feat you can pick whatever you want. Essentially, like you can do whatever you want.
Oh, okay, so it's way more loosey goosey then.
Yeah, it is way more loosey goosey in terms of these are basically the points, basically the things that are specific to like the things that are very general, like ability scores and skills and everything. They make that a bit more loosey goosey. You can pick and choose. So,
yeah, I mean, I think they have to, because like, what if I want to play a rogue acolyte? Like, I don't want to be suboptimal, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But
It's kind of like
basically-
how we do right now. Yeah. What?
Basically, you can make your own background as well, right? As long
Yes.
as you.
Yes.
And everybody just gets a feat.
Yes, everybody gets a feat, and
human
humans will
gets
get
an
2 feet.
Extra feet. Oh damn! Humans have 2 feet, you guys. Who would have
Yeah,
thought?
humans get 2 feet at level 1, or they get any feat, or they take the skilled feat, which is basically the one that gives you 3 skills very quickly. So
Whew, that's good.
Yeah, but feats
well-
are also getting a rework this edition.
nothing in here yet. I don't know where you heard that, because I read through this. There's nothing yet about feats being reworked or anything like that. But hey,
Wait,
who knows in the
but
future?
Aren't there like level feats now? Like you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
only get some
that one for sure. The level feats basically, it's a feat 3 where you need a previous feat before you can get the next feat, like how they did in Eldritch Invocation in some of the Eldritch Invocation. So they have some modification to what we have so far, but a majority of it remains the same. So other things that they change, they followed something that I did, is that there's only 3 spell lists now instead of having
3?
separate spell lists for different classes. Yeah. So they have an arcane spell list, divine spell list, and primal spell list. So
that's kinda
if you're exactly. So like if you're a wizard or if you're a artificer, you'll have the same spell list. If you're a druid, you'll have from the primal spell list. If you're a cleric or a paladin, you'll have from the divine spell list. That way, it kind of creates a bit more easily organized rules, basically. So yeah, that part is it's a simple change. I think that's something like I feel like it would have been good to do. just for organization's sake, so they don't have to remember 5, 12 different spell lists,
Yeah, it's not gonna be like does your class have X spell anymore?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
past that.
exactly. Yeah, and
That
this could have a thing where they can do subclasses where you are a cleric, but you take from the arcane spell list, for example. So it's an
Oh, like a
easy way to kind of
knowledge
like describe
cleric
that.
or a
Yeah,
common
yeah,
cleric.
exactly. So they can do that basically, and they don't have to like, okay, you have this, but you include
Ooh.
this and this and this spells in your list, But yeah,
But that's
we'll
like
see how they
that's
go.
such a vast spell list for you to get. That's like 2 out of third,
Yeah,
basically. That's good.
yeah.
Okay.
We'll see that
I
how
like
they go.
I like having access to more spells. So
Yeah.
I
Uh,
would be really interested to see how College of Lore bards will get affected if they
Yeah,
stay the same.
because like this is the thing because like Pathfinder there is a fourth school called occult, which is basically the weird spells like causing someone to laugh or I know creating weird black tendrils or something.
yeah, where are
That's the
those?
occult school. There is no occult school, so I'm
There's
wondering where Bard
arcane.
and Warlock will
It
go
says
for.
here. It says here arcane. So bard,
Yeah. Oh,
sorcerers,
arcane.
warlocks are all
Oh,
in
there you go.
arcane.
So it's just general magic basically. So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, one of the
Also,
biggest. Yeah. Good.
Roveljax asks, one D&D backgrounds, but OG 5e races anyone?
One D&D background but OG 5e race. I don't know about that. You're gonna get like +6 to your ability scores if you
It's
combine the two.
amazing!
Someone will there already be like past 21 in their ability score, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh no, usually there's an asterisk that says this cannot go above 20. Usually there's an asterisk.
Mhm.
So yeah. Anyways, moving forward, the main big change in the basic mechanic is instead of
The
calling
D20 test.
ability score, dexterity saving throws, and attack rolls, they're gonna just call it a D20 test.
Oh, I've
Nat
heard bad
1,
things about this. I don't know.
yeah, because they do the Nat 1 always fails and Nat 20 always succeeds. It's a vague kind of requirement that it says that kind of says that. So a lot of people don't like it because this heavily disadvantages multi-attack fighters, and auto success feels off in certain situations, especially if you're not an experienced GM. You're gonna get bossed around by your players with these nat 20s, basically.
They roll to seduce the god. Not
Yeah.
20.
So like,
I hate it.
yeah, no. If you ask me, it's really up to the GM because this thing is a little bit success is vague. One of the things that I always see, like, I'm gonna try to seduce the evil king. I rolled a net 20. Can I seduce him now? Instead, the suggestion I would give is like, nat 20 means it's the best that you can get in that situation. Where in that case, the evil king is amused with you and will not kill you now. That's the best that can happen in that logical situation, basically. So that's something that you can do as a GM. But I'm assuming a less experienced GM will go, oh, success. I guess you seduce the king. It's just something that you'll need to kind of work towards. Which something the Wizards of the Coast have to keep in mind, or at least write down. Success doesn't mean the character gets exactly as they want. So, yeah.
I dislike the idea of having a 5% chance to just fail whatever you're trying to do. Like, no matter how good you're. Like, my character has like +12 in persuasion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if he's trying to convince a child to hand over a lollipop, like, a +12 is solid enough. I feel like that he will succeed automatically, but hey, he has a 5% chance to fail now for this kind of reason.
Yeah, exactly.
I liked how Shadowrun did it with its glitches, if you ever seen those.
I've heard of glitches, but I never understood the mechanic.
Like,
Can you elaborate?
basically, you roll like a bunch of dice, you roll a bunch of d6s, that's how you play the game. And if half or more of the dice are ones, you glitch.
Uh-huh.
It's basically a fumble.
Okay.
And you can still succeed on a test and glitch at the same time.
Oh.
Which is up to the dungeon master. Like, you can like roll 12 dice, right? 6 hits, 6 misses, or 6 ones.
Yeah.
and you glitch, so you do something, you succeed, you like get scraped up while you're doing it. I don't know, you jump a fence, land on a nail, and continue running or something.
I see. So that's their version of succeed with the cost, basically.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Oh, or you can like critically glitch,
and will glitch.
yeah, you can critically glitch, which is to glitch and have no hits on your d6, meaning no 5 or 6 rolled.
I see.
That's just a critical fail. Like,
all right.
Which is a more fun system, I feel, especially because it lets you fail and succeed. Fail forward.
Yeah. It can like have that's like the failing and succeed is a different metric, and then like getting injured or getting penalty from that check is a different metric entirely. So
exactly.
the two can go together. Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, in this one, 20 you succeed, nat 1 you fail. There you go. It says there, an asterisk there, rolling a 20 doesn't bypass the limitation of the test, such as range or line of sight. The 20 bypasses only bonuses and penalty to the roll. So, yeah. So it just tells you succeed, but it does not bend the rules of reality when you succeed. So if the king, no matter what, will not date you, rolling a nat 20 is not gonna make him date you. He's just gonna make you're gonna get the best of the current situation. And then critical hit. Yeah, and then critical hit is only available for player characters now.
What?
And only crits
DM
your weapon.
officially gets nerfed.
Yeah, DM essentially gets nerfed. The DM no longer have critical hits.
No.
And the players will get critical hit, but your crits. This one I'm not sure because I keep seeing that meme where like smites and everything no longer counts in the crit. This one doesn't. Oh, sorry. Yeah. It doesn't say here specifically like does the weapon what do you call this? The smite, for example, does not get the crit dice. Or I might have missed it something. But yeah, that's essentially it. To me, I like the crit. It's fun for the players, obviously, but it it's for the GM, kind of creates a perilous situation like, oh shit, things just got turned around, and how do we do this? Is it that unexpected element where the GM and the player will have to deal with? It's not balanced, but it's a nice kind of like change of pace.
I mean, I feel like the most dynamic combat stuff happens when like you unexpectedly crit a player, and then everybody like recalls, oh fuck. We need to get
it's like using it out in an Overwatch game. It just turns the tide immediately. Oh shit!
Suddenly, this goblin just one-shots the wizard. All of a sudden.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, that happens anyway, but
fear me with a knife.
Beyond that, I don't think there's any additional different stuff. Unarmed Strike still does the same thing. All tools now cost you 15 gold, if I recall correctly. Yeah, instead of like 50 gold some, 5 gold others, it's just all the same prices now. But musical instrument costs you 20, but other than that, that's essentially it in the UA stuff. So if you have any feedback on what the hell they're doing here, they're gonna open kind of like a feedback channel on the 1st of September, so you guys can go there and then do it.
Nice.
Robel Jack says no more short rest. I don't think so, because over there it just says it's changing how long rest works. It may just mean that short rest is not changed from how we are doing right now. The current short rest, the current long rest, the new long rest rule now is you have to sleep for 6 hours. You can spend chilling for 2 hours. Your rest cannot be broken up by combat or 1 hour of doing other stuff. So yeah. That's it about 1D&D. They also kind of like hosted a Twitch stream the other day, which kind of tells about the release of 5 new D&D books that is coming in 2023. First of it is the Keys of a Golden Vault. That one's kind of like a heist kind of book, Ocean 11's kind of style. Then Fizban's Treasury of Dragon. That one's I think it's like a source book basically, that gives you additional stuff. The Book of Many Things is a collection of creatures, location, and items. And then also the Fendelver campaign will expand on the Lost Mine on Fendelver to like a fully kind of like horror, cosmic horror kind of campaign. And then of course finally
Cosmic
at the end,
horror?
yeah. And then
Oh, like
finally
D&D.
the end on fall 2023, there's just Planescape, which is if I recall that's the Magic the Gathering setting. If I recall correctly.
Yeah.
So yeah, books. That's always nice.
I was hoping the Book of Many Things would be like, the deck of many things, where instead of like a source book, it's more of like okay, here's a campaign set entirely on an item that gives you a book of many things, and like whatever you get, you turn to this page, kind of like a choose your own adventure.
Follow your adventure.
That's
Okay,
a
okay.
really
But
cool
but
one.
but instead of just page, like a whole like encounter in the page basically.
Yeah.
That
That'd be a
sounds fun.
cool campaign, and it would be throw the DM. It would be suck. Would suck for the DM.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, those are upcoming books. So go give it a look. Wait for it once it comes out. Next, we got some sales for you guys to check out. One of it is the Dungeon Crawler Classics role-playing game from April 2021. There is a sale for the DCC Essentials collection for $15. I can't remember what it's called. Where is it sold right now? Let me get it here. Yeah, it's on the bundle of holding. I think we showed this. It's still going on apparently. So, and then there are other stuff like low level collection, high level collection, which includes all their additional books and so on. So go ahead to bundleofholding.com for this one. But on Humble Bundle, they have books for Pathfinder 5e called Pathfinder Strength of 1,000. Humble Bundle, where they are releasing the Pathfinder core rulebook, the bestiary, the world guide, advanced player's guide, a character guide, and also I think this is a what do you call it? A adventure path, Shadows of the Ancients. So yeah, you got all of it for $25. If you pay $25, you get all these and more. I'm assuming because it says there for these 28 items. So you'll give it a look. Lots of I think that's a good value because usually these books are like $80 each, so it's $50 each. So yeah,
it's
good
mad
shit.
cheap.
Yeah, exactly. Other than that, just very quickly, we also have some new TTRPG that I managed to find kind of interesting. One of it is the multiverse, Marvel multiverse role-playing game because, of course, Marvel stuff. And then the other one is this one over here that's on the screen right now, which is Rune, which is a solo TTRPG. So it's a TTRPG that you can play by yourself. If you don't have many friends. I have friends. I can play with friends.
I don't.
But
I can play by myself.
but essentially it is it's a bit more puzzle focused by the looks of it. Even the combat itself is not going to be draggy. It will require a lot more logic puzzle and planning to win the encounter. So give it a look. It is a crowdfunding. It's actually running out right now, so you should give it a look.
Oh.
But yeah, that is everything on my end. We'll see what happens next.
Ooh. Ooh, that, I mean...
We all know what happens next.
What do you mean? What happens next?
Da da da!
A horror story. That's what happens next. Yeah. So, it's not a very long one, even though this text is long. But at least I don't think it's that long. But anyway, so today, for the very last episode, I have for you the tale of the blank character sheet.
I
feel like I've heard this, but
You
go
have?
on,
No,
go on,
this
go
is
on.
I am
19
in-
days ago. You can't have heard of this.
Okay, maybe not.
I am intrigued of the title, but I'm scared of the definition in the campaign setting.
Okay, so this is in Reddit r/RPG horror stories by Peach_cobblers. So TLDR, after several months in a campaign, a player has a completely blank character sheet, much to our DM's chagrin. So, hi everyone, let me tell you a tale, the tale of the blank character sheet. This happened a few years ago, and I don't think anyone involved was really all that terrible. But it is a funny story, and I think y'all might enjoy it. So it's not too horrible.
Okay.
Maybe.
Ending on a high note, huh?
Maybe. So this was for a pre-written module, which one is not really important, and the only real character of note to the story is the warlock. The warlock in this campaign always seemed pretty passive to me, in that for basically the whole campaign, they never used a single spell, subclass ability, pact boon, or eldritch invocation aside from agonizing blast. In combat, they only ever used eldritch blast. But I figured that they just wanted to play their warlock that way, and then I didn't try to play their character for them. You know, as you should.
Red flag. Red
Oh
flag.
my
Though.
God.
How is that a red
God.
flag?
Well, I mean, not
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 he,
telling
not what.
player how to
Yeah.
play, but
Oh.
rather never using a single spell, single subclass, ability,
Yeah.
pact
I
boon,
thought this
or
was the
eldritch
red flag
invocation.
for you.
If I were a warlock, I would utilize the hell out of my limited 2 spell slots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but let's see what's going on. So we were almost done with the campaign at a certain point. After a few months at level 7 out of 8, at the end of the campaign, and we were in a very difficult combat encounter. So like it's a pre-written module and it's only for like 8 levels. The warlock said something along the lines of, "Well, I can't do anything else. I'll do Eldritch Blast on their turn." This is where the warlock started to fall apart a bit. In passing, I said, "You could cast a spell if you didn't want to use Eldritch Blast." There was some mumbling from the warlock and a long pause, and they tried to cast Wall of Fire in a way that would involve friendly fire on our party. After the DM explained that, the warlock changed the placement of Wall of Fire instead. Later in the encounter, people were making death saves, and the warlock said on their turn something like, "I wish I could have help, but all I really have is Eldritch Blast." They were playing a celestial warlock, and having played one before, I mentioned that they could use their first level ability to heal some of the characters that were down if they wanted to as a bonus action. Cue some more mumbling and then a single roll of a 1d6, not how the ability necessarily works, and the warlock says, "Okay, player X, you get 4 hit points, and I just used my second spell slot, so I can't use that again." The first level Celestial Warlock ability does not require the use of a spell slot. It has its own resource, and at level 7, the Warlock could have used it 7 more times. Oh, that's so good. Okay. I tried to explain without trying to be a rules lawyer that wasn't how the ability worked, but stopped after Warlock started ranting about how complicated keeping track of all the spells and abilities were. There you go. um, So one of the other players tried to suggest looking at their character sheet on Roll20, where the spells were listed and that the character mentor can build it for them. And the warlock got even more heated about it. The other player backed off and said, okay, that's fine, I was just suggesting it." At this point, the DM speaks up and says that they just took a look at the warlock's character sheet on Roll20, and it is completely blank. The only thing on there is the HP and the Eldritch Blast cantrip. We were all a bit silent for a moment, and the DM stepped away for a break, clearly exasperated. The rest of the session went by a bit awkwardly, and we really only had 1 or 2 sessions left in the campaign, so this was kind of swept under the rug for the rest of the campaign until it was over. The Warlock was not a new player and had played D&D before. This was also not their first campaign or Roll20. I still don't really know why they didn't try to use Roll20 or ask for help with it, use D&D Beyond, some other online character sheet creator, or even a physical character sheet. But I still remember how dispirited the DM sounded when they said to the group that the Warlock's character sheet was blank. After that campaign was over, the DM did not invite the Warlock back to the next campaign. As a DM, I understood the feelings that our DM had. I just felt so bad for our DM to put the effort into running the campaign and the prep and the story for one of the players to have a completely blank character sheet and not make any attempts to learn how their class works. I don't entirely have the warlock side of the story, but it just felt disrespectful. Anyway, it's not as bad as some of the other ones on here, and I hope that the warlock is having fun playing D&D or in general is doing well. They weren't a bad person at all. I like them as a person, and I actually enjoyed playing with them most of the time. But I think at a bare minimum, you need to fill out a character sheet if you want to play D&D.
a low bar.
How badly cringing are you, DMs?
Terribly.
Terribly.
It sucks to say, but I've had this happen to me to an extent. Not
No
me
way.
having a blank sheet, but rather one of my players having a blank sheet.
No way. Okay, you
What
gotta tell us the
happened?
story now.
It's to an extent. There was a new player and didn't play the game a lot like before playing with me, and around I think level also 7, 8, 9, something like that. I took a look at their sheet to find that they have not leveled up since level 6
What?
and have never added spells to their spell list,
Oh my god.
which sucks
Think it's
big and hard.
spellcaster?
Oh, paladin to be exact.
Paladin. Okay, that's fair, I guess. Just strike and smite.
Well, I mean, if they smite it, yeah. If spell slots were a thing they understood, yeah.
Oh my god. Hey guys, if you don't know, just ask. Most of us are pretty accommodating.
Yeah.
We'll even like have a nice like separate session if you're shy and just like teach you how to get used to it.
That's exactly what I did, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So like yeah, ask and to be honest, it's easier if you do it earlier rather than later because you'll not have that many features. At level 1, you'll have a small amount of features compared to
Yeah.
level 7 or 10,
True. Like when you start as a new player, it's good to start at level 1 because you have like 2 things to keep track of.
Mhm.
But if you're a newbie player and you start at level 12, you're just fucked.
I can understand why the warlock didn't. The Roll20 character mancer, honestly, sometimes it baffles me like how difficult it is to just add an ability. Like
Does it? It's
Yeah,
like
no.
2 buttons. What do you
no,
mean?
no, no. There is a separate thing. There's 2 D&D character sheets you can the DM can choose to give to players. One is more user friendly. The other is complete mess. I click like a gear icon. I type my ability. Copy paste it from a source online, and all of a sudden I click the gear link to save it. It disappears.
See,
like
see
You
that,
hit
never
that's
there.
enter,
if
not
you
click the gear.
that's if you put in like things from outside sources, but if you use it like with with what is available, it's not really that hard to make a character in Roll20. Actually,
I mean,
it does get harder when you have to actually like put in stuff that's not on Roll20. For example, you have the book, right? But you don't want to like buy the book on
Buy the
Roll20.
book.
So
Yeah.
you gotta make it yourself, and it always F it up somehow.
Yeah, I was talking from experience on that point. I was playing more of a homebrew game on Roll20, so that's why Character Mancer couldn't cut off. So we had to use the other sheet that was more homebrew friendly for multiple stats and multiple resources we can keep track of. But yeah, I could understand some of his difficulties. But again, he could have asked.
Completely empty sheet though.
I mean, he stuck to the niche of what is a warlock, I guess. Just Eldritch Blast. I'm just
He became the meme.
surprised. I'm just
I don't think he even knows like how Eldritch Blast work because everybody adds their charisma, he just adds their charisma
I
as well
think so
to the Eldritch
too.
Blast.
And
And then when the
people
first
just
time they use it,
assume
I
he
can do
has
it 3 times. Oh, I'll do it 2 more times, I guess. But yeah.
Anyway, that's the horror story for today. It's not too bad. It's just a bit cringe, but hey,
We all died a little, it's fine.
Not being
Yurko
able to feel
says-
like character sheet cringe.
Yurko says my sheets are always empty because then even the DM can't metagame around me.
Always keep them guessing, never let them know you're next.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, let's move on to the next segment. Ward, take it away with Homebrew.
Alright, for this this episode of Homebrew review, we have a cute little pupper called the Blink Poppy. Oh, look at him. Honestly, it's
love
such
him.
good art. Yeah, it's really good
He's
art.
cute.
I love it. Alright, it's a monster. Technically, it has a stat block or a familiar, as stated right here. So, wizards, warlocks, get your Blink Puppies out here. Alright. Blink puppies as described. Playful, energetic, and endearingly clumsy, these baby Blink dogs attentively follow the older members of their pack through the Feywild. Even in their youth, Blink puppies are incredibly intelligent animals and studious learners, quickly picking up on the tactics and tendencies of their kin. Not yet fully in control in their teleportation abilities, these puppies sometimes blink around. Okay, big word time. Don't do a crit. Sporadically. Thank you. Sporadically, making them difficult to train and wrangle. Elves and other fey creatures, however, gladly take on the challenge, knowing a grown Blink dog are exceptionally good guard animals, with their natural awareness for distaste for evil, and especially their displacer beast Nemesis. I didn't know that displacer beasts were like their natural enemy or predators. Was it? Like I've never encountered that with a Blink dog.
Blink puppies?
No, Blink dogs and displacer beasts.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so
I mean, they're the same thing, right? So maybe there's some kind of rivalry there, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
Weird fey creature, they're bound to fight. So yeah. There's a small tidbit down below. Blink puppy familiars at the DM's discretion. A character who casts Find Familiar, any spellcaster with Find Familiar, go ahead. You can choose a Blink puppy. Oh god, I'm gonna try to shove this on my next DM. Or, like whenever they say, okay, I'll allow Homebrew, I'll show this image. They'll probably say, you know what? Okay, that's a guaranteed yes.
Look at this. Oh,
so
chaotic goodness boy.
If that doesn't seal the deal, I don't know what does. Okay.
That's so cute.
All right, Blink puppies. They're tiny. They're regarded as tiny fey creatures. Chaotic goodest boys. So that's their alignment. DMs got that. None of your weird magic that involves around alignments like would affect him. He's a goodest boy. It's not even on the chart. All right. Armor class of 12. Hit points, not surprisingly, 2, or you can roll a d4. Has a movement speed of 35 feet. Strength, Dex, Con, Intelligence, Wisdom, Charisma modifiers are listed as below. They have a +3 on Perception skill checks. They have Dark Vision, +60 feet, and Passive Perception of 13. They can speak the Blink dog language, which I didn't realize is a language. Yeah, I thought speak animals is just it, but okay. And their challenge rating 0. They deal 10 XP. So don't.
Not
like
worth it.
Not worth it.
It doesn't even
like,
level you up.
Yeah, even casting Find Familiar, it was where you're wasting a spell slot.
Unless you
I've had
only
my
have
players beg for 10 XP before. Just saying,
That is true. Unless you only have 10 more to that sweet level up.
Oh my god.
First of all,
GM, please give me 10 XP. Sure.
Here's
Someone's a Blink dog.
Oh my god.
First of all, how dare you insinuate a scenario where we have to kill a Blink puppy? Okay, there's nothing after that. It's just, first of all, how dare you? Okay. Their 2 main abilities for this creature is Blink Step. It's a once per turn ability. Whenever the Blink puppy moves on its turn, it can choose to expand 10 feet of its movement to teleport up to 10 feet. So, I guess nothing weird about that, except maybe he can walk through walls that's less than 5 feet space and whatnot.
Well, as long as it can see it. If you can't see through a wall, then
So what is the use?
Huh?
You just blink and you're good.
He just blinks.
He just blinks. Down things,
Oh right, up. I forgot. I keep looking at 2D maps. I keep forgetting the y-axis. Yes.
Not to mention blink over chasms and holes and enemies.
That is 10 feet.
Lines.
That's 10 feet wide. I don't see a lot of that, but yeah.
What? You gotta understand. Your usual jump distance is like your strength score. Wizards can't go past that.
Oh god, you're right.
Yeah, not to mention this guy can jump and then blink, possibly.
Sorry, can't relate. Never played a pleb wizard. Sorry. Anyway.
Bard. Sit down, Bard player.
Sit down, bro.
Literally the man talking with a death counter on his head. Alright. Second ability is keen hearing and smell. The blink puppy has advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on hearing and smelling. So yeah, stubby little nose has uses. And its only attack action is the bite. A melee weapon attack is +4 to hit and a reach of 5. Only deals 1 damage. Oh, it's trying. It's trying, guys. So yeah, the blink puppy.
It has 7 strength, so
Yeah,
Stronger than a wizard's unarmed attack.
it's the same as a wizard's unarmed attack.
Depends.
Hey, I think aren't wizards usually at least a 10 strength because they need to carry all those books? No?
One book, technically.
I don't know.
One book, and that's why you have, the party's fighter and barbarian and paladin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, like, have you seen expert note takers? I'm pretty sure wizards are expert note takers.
Yeah.
They efficiently use every page. Like, they'll have like 5 spells listed fully on up to like 9th level on 1 page alone. Trust me. Alright, that's the blink puppy. Yeah, bye! Bye for homebrew reviews. That's it for homebrew reviews.
Cute.
I have only known the blink puppy for 10 minutes, but if anything happened to him, I would kill everyone in this room and then myself.
Yes.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the homebrew section. Now we're on to our kind of last session where Crit tells us a good story for today, or as Yurko would say, the segment where Crit stutters. So
I'm sure it won't happen this time, guys. Come on.
Go for it.
I don't want to.
You don't want it?
Because
You're a host of the show.
if I start reading first, I might stutter, and if I don't stutter, then we're gonna end the episode, and I don't want the season to end. Come on.
Aww.
Aww.
Well,
Okay.
Time has to
it's gotta
proceed.
end someday. You
Uh,
know?
not if I never start speaking about it.
Yeah. Or, it's not really up to
Segment's
you.
gonna
I
last
could
for
just stop
years, guys.
streaming and, it's gone.
You can't without doing all the segments. That's not how the
Yeah,
program works.
exactly. Yeah.
No, I can read it. So, today's story.
All right. I'll read. Also, bless you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I thought I was muting my mic. Sorry.
No
No
worries.
problem, dude. Don't worry about it. So it says how my Goliath barbarian failed successfully in saving the campaign.
Oh, it sounds awesome.
Yes, it is. Says I was playing a Goliath barbarian in a homebrew campaign where several kingdoms were at war, and our goal was doing what we could to sabotage the other kingdoms' war efforts, capturing supplies, spying on troops, etc. During one session, we needed to take out a detachment that was using a nearby cliff as a lookout spot for a crucial keep we had to occupy. With them out of the way, our allies could launch a surprise attack and give us a major advantage. We sneak up on them and just managed to defeat the scouts. We thought we got them all, but our ranger noticed a soldier slipping by us, get on a Pegasus, and was getting the hell out of Dodge. I know what you might be thinking, and no, it was legit, and we made an error at some point. We knew if he got away, he was going to warn the keep, signal for reinforcements, and the campaign would take a hard left turn for us. And we said we wanted to try and take him out, and the DM said sure, but you only had 1 round to do it. After that, he was gone, and come what may. We looked at our character sheets and see what we could do. Ranger, no arrows.
Oh, no.
Wizard,
No.
out of spell slots.
Oh, God.
Cleric,
No.
healing ain't gonna help.
Obviously.
Clerics can do more than healing, okay?
Yeah.
But at that point, the ranger realizes there's a corpse with arrows near me, points to it, and calls out, "Barbarian!" through
Oh,
the arc.
Oh, God.
So you
Grammar,
can start-
everyone.
You can start to see where this is going.
Uh-huh.
Now, an average person would have figured what she meant was, my valued brother in arms, throw the archer's body over to me. I will then use the arrows within their quiver and my sharpshooter feat to easily kill the offending soldier. Is that what my 8 int 7 wisdom barbarian concluded? No. What do you think she meant, you ask? Nat 1 insight. Hit that motherfucker with another
That's what
motherfucker.
I was thinking too when he said that.
The party is not happy in any sense of the word, though not at anyone in particular.
Oh my
Dice
God.
are gonna dice.
Okay.
Sometimes they bring glory onto you, and sometimes they kick you square in the giblets. The DM decides to take pity on us and tells us that with 24 strength,
What?
I could reasonably throw the corpse and hit the retreating soldier. However, I will be at a disadvantage because he's just within my maximum throw range. So I make the first roll. Critical hit.
Oh,
And we all take a second to laugh and weep at a 20 that will go to waste. I take a deep breath, say a prayer to the dice gods, and roll another
my
critical
God.
hit.
Oh my God! Oh,
This is what we live
That's
for,
when
ladies
it's
and
meant.
gentlemen.
double that 20!
This is
That's like,
our
it's meant to happen, just simply put.
Yeah.
this is our high. This is our meth, like right here.
Nat 20. So.
We lose our minds completely. I roll up the damage, and the DM rolls an animal handling check with a -5 to see if he could stay on the mount. He rolls an 8. Soldier loses the check and plummets down to his death. We then send a messenger hawk to our allies to go ahead and attack and strut down the hill triumphantly. And just through a man.
Yeah.
Which is the most fucking badass thing you can do, easily.
I mean, in your time playing as a barbarian, you have to have at least one instance where you hit one guy with another guy, you know? That's just a rule of D&D.
I've never played a barbarian to an extent where I was given an opportunity to hit a guy with another guy.
If you play D&D bingo, one of the squares says hit a guy with another guy.
I've beat a goblin with a kobold as my fighter.
That works.
I did that. If that counts.
That's a guy and another guy, so that counts, yeah.
Wasn't
Now
a
we need to
barbarian,
do
but
that. We need to do that in our campaign.
It was great. It was a three-way fight between the party, kobolds and goblins. I got disarmed. And I grabbed a dead kobold and started smacking a goblin with it. And it worked.
That's
It was
awesome.
3.5.
Oh, 3.5, wow.
Good times, high school.
Good thing.
How about you? Actually, this kind of brings the point of the glitch from Shadowrun, but also succeeding on the roll. He glitched by not realizing that he was supposed to toss the quiver, but also succeeded by throwing the guy.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
It's perfect. I love it.
Do you guys have stories like that?
No,
Uh,
not that I can remember. I don't
A
usually
story
play
in
dumb
where
characters.
we miscommunicated something, or
Sure. Actually, yeah. Have you had a plan that like failed spectacularly in execution, but then in the end you just figured it out while you were failing, and made it look like you did the whole thing on purpose?
I feel like there was an instance of it, but I can't recall the story. The only thing I can remember was that one time we're like, "Hey, we want to go to that gold city. Wait a minute, there's that other camp right there. Let's go and raid it. Why not?"
leaving the GM to improvise the whole session.
Oh god, I love to see it. And I
You
guess
can at episode something of Arc of the 12.
well, actually, if you go back to the Rust engine, I mean, like Leon and the gang killing the dragon with like no planning whatsoever. Because it's like, we'll bring him here. No, we'll bring him here. The train will be here. No, the train will be there. Is the train there? Yes. Why is it there? It's supposed to be over there. Anyway, kill the dragon.
we'll use the train to destroy the dragon.
And it just worked.
It just works out, man. It just works.
Just works.
That's usually D&D, you know. Your plan never survived the first contact. It just
Yeah.
goes awry very quickly.
Yeah.
If it goes to plan, the players will be like, "Wait, that's it?"
Yeah. Like that Hydra at the end there. It's like, oh man, we planned this whole thing. Wait a minute, it worked? What? No, wait, what?
That reminds me of a Shadowrun session I had where we had like sneak into a facility of some kind. I don't remember what it was, but the hard part was getting to the roof of the place. Then we were going to use the ventilation to crawl down into the place, and from there it was easy. Like we had intel on everything,
Yeah.
so it was gonna be easy, cakewalk, you know, milk run as they call it in Shadowrun. But in Shadowrun, there's no such things as milk run. So we sneak through the entire compound, get through inhumane amounts of guards without being detected. My character gets onto the roof, you know, manages to pry open the air ventilation duct thing, whatever it's called, and you know, he's ready to go in. He radios the rest of the party to start climbing. They start climbing, and then a bomb goes off in the facility and everything explodes.
Jesus.
Like, what the fuck? Turns out there was another team doing the same thing we were doing, except they went in loud. And,
Wait, that's
like,
actually really cool. That's an interesting topic. What?
and it was like we knew there was no such thing as like the plan going smoothly. No fucking way.
Yeah.
The world had
It's
to
too
punish
smooth.
it for
This
assuming
is
it.
too smooth.
And Shadowrun has that when you build missions. Actually, it has like a table you can roll from with like different twists. Who hires you, why they hire you, what they hire you for, who are you stealing from, and the plot twist.
Always
And
there's a plot twist.
It's cool. They have like a table of things you can roll or choose when you make a session.
Yeah.
Great game.
Yeah, good shit.
Maybe one day we'll play it. Maybe.
Maybe.
What? Maybe one
You
more
wanna
time.
GM it, you know?
Or you know, maybe we'll,
In a Shadowrun campaign?
Yeah.
Or
That'll
one
be
shot because I've never played Shadowrun. We keep talking
Oh,
about
we'll
playing
we'll,
it.
we'll,
but-
we'll do okay. We'll finish Arcana 12, wherever that is, and then we'll do the short campaign thing. You know, then we'll get to experience
mean,
all
we-
these games that we say we want to play but never got to play.
We should, if only we don't keep postponing the session.
I'm sorry, man. Getting
Saturday's
engaged
just-
is hard.
Saturday's just not the best day for anybody.
Yeah.
For D&D. Oh well. So yeah, thank you Morthos_coilbone on r/critcrap for the story. So before
Older. Sorry.
that's okay. So before we end it, let's have one last discussion for this session. I thought it'd be longer, but I guess not. So like something that might be the end of whether something that might dictate whether or not we come back for another season or not. But what are your DMing hot takes? So
DMing hot. Can you give an
here's
example?
an example of the OP. So this is given in r/D&D next by u_beep_man_. So his hot take is players should fail all the time. I see people suggesting that failed dice rolls are the world pushing back against the PCs, not the PCs actually screwing up. Failed perception check, a sudden thunderbolt interferes with your hearing. Failed attack roll, the baddie deflected your blade. I feel like many people think that players should never fail, and I disagree. Sometimes their attacks just miss, sometimes they screw up, plain and simple. The DM shouldn't always be calling their players like many people seem to suggest because bad things happen. That's how the world works, even in fantasy. The DM is the orchestrator of this world, not your yes man. So yeah, what's your DMing hot take?
Yeah, at first I was like, that's kind of obvious. Like, I think that. Anyway, when you can keep reading, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that's fair. Because, like, in my opinion, I think, like, you know, the player most of the time the player fails because of, you know, the world pushing back and everything. Because they are supposed to be the hero of the story. It's just not fun when you think of your character as this cool badass and it slips on the ladder and hits itself in the head. It kind of sucks. When give that. But DM hot takes.
Yeah.
Shit.
like I think you could see it as like an unpopular opinion about DM, like
Yeah,
how you
yeah,
DM.
That's what it is.
essentially.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like XP is a good system. God damn it!
Oh God!
Cope
Oh, here we
harder,
go
cope
again.
harder.
We're opening this can of
I
worms.
agree. I agree. But I mean, depending on
Okay, right.
how you
Okay.
run it. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
love
Depends on how you
XP.
run it.
And depends on
Complaints
the
that
type of players.
Yeah, complaints that I always hear is, oh, it's hard to keep track numbers. Oh, some players, level up earlier than the others. Then give everybody the same amount of XP. Just so you know, in our campaigns, we did it since Arc of the 12, I think. Because before this, we did milestones, and all my players complain that it takes so long, and you
To
don't see
level up.
when you're gonna get to the level up. And because I set those level up milestones on important points in the story, but the characters want go around and chat with people, and they kind of get discouraged because chatting with people don't get them to level up. So might as well just go on with the main story kind of thing. When I give them the whole XP thing, it's more on you level up when you do something great. Befriend an NPC, find a new location. When you do something, you'll get experience, and your character will level up. Maybe at times where I don't expect, but honestly, I like that unexpectability in a campaign. And if you're worried about the player don't level up at the same time, just give the party the same amount of XP, even if they don't participate in the combat. It's the party's experience rather than one person's experience. That's how I read. So yeah,
I
XP is good.
I remember going to like me and Rain. We were about to play with another group, and we suggested if we could use XP, but like in that way of doing it. But I think players who have played D&D for quite a bit are not, they're not the kind who like to keep track of things, especially with XP. There's just a lot of things to keep track sometimes, and some DMs also don't want to go through the whole hard work of like, oh, this is what they did, this is what they did. And some players, I remember when we were about to go for XP, like I was always on the apprehensive side, because some people might level up faster than others, or like what if this person did stuff and we didn't, and like only they're gonna get it. But um but if like those rules are in place, I think it's all right. And really, you just need to, only one person really has to keep track of the XP, and if they're okay with that, like if that's something that they like to do, then why not? But if like nobody wants to, then yeah.
It's still just one number to keep track for everybody. You don't have to keep track separately and figure out.
Unless
Another thing that people complain about is that oh, then I'll just have to adjust the XP to until that you level up at a certain point of the story. No, if the party somehow goes off the beaten path and befriend a local lord for some reason, give them XP for that. They level up early because they took the initiative to befriend a local lord to find this dungeon under the city. Just give them XP, even if it's not your main story.
yeah, I think
I mean,
Mossman
you can
is
have.
yeah.
Sorry. Well, you can have milestones that are not exclusively tied to the main story, right? Like, for example, in one of my groups, the party took a huge detour to go fight a giant, for example, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't part of the main plot. It was like, at best, resolving a personal story of one of the PCs, right? Which kind of is main story, kind of isn't. It doesn't have anything to do with the great story at large, but it helps the party member and makes the area safer, etc.
Yeah.
And it felt like a very good milestone to level them up during. And at a different point, they destroyed half a city, and I expect them to just move on from that. But instead, they went back to try and rescue as many people as they could. I was like, hell, that's great. Like, as you guys spend the night in the ruined city, boom, you level up. Because, in the end, you get to decide when the milestone happens.
When the milestone happens, basically. Yeah. In that sense, that's fair because those are actual milestones. Saving a city, completing one of the characters' kind of mini stories. I think those are reasonable occasions to level up.
Exactly.
I think that
when it feels right in my head.
Because when I did it, that's basically it. this not a right time yet, so we wait and we wait and we wait until that's the right time, and then like the party like, when are we gonna level up? Oh, I guess you level up, I guess, because like they haven't really hit that milestone because it's always a slow burn. Usually my stories, I don't know why, but it's always a short
Huh.
period of time. It's
I
only
wonder
been like
why.
8 months in game actually, barely even a year.
I mean,
I
my
just
party's
like
been through everything in 2 months. So
Yeah,
yeah.
there you go. Yeah,
I just like
D&D, man.
XP because there's a system and it's kind of easy to know if we'll get it or not. But that's just me. That's my preference,
I,
honestly.
I also tell my players sometimes, that also helps.
Yeah.
Like if they start whinging about it, especially.
Ah.
I'll be like, yeah, don't worry, guys. Like, you have a whole thing around the corner. It's gonna happen. When you finish it, you're gonna level up. Don't worry. And then they're on the lookout for the big thing, you know?
Yeah. I did think of like a system where like the player sets the milestone where they can level up, but I don't know. That feels just wrong because again, one player will level up earlier than the other player
Yeah,
because
it's a
of
party game. Like it's a
Well,
game
I,
about the party. I don't know.
I level all of my guys at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. So I think like one of the most important thing. The whole party has to level up all at once. I don't know if that's like I wonder if that's possible because I would like for the campaign to go on and then one player plays the old character with that's like level 20 and then like new characters joining the party at level 1. They go on an adventure and then the old character dies and then new one comes in so that it just becomes an infinite campaign. Like
Hmm?
is that even fun at some point? Because
I don't know.
yeah,
I don't
because
think
we're used to
so.
like the whole party at the same level. I wonder if that will be fun to play like in that cycle. But
I
yeah.
mean, having played a level 4 character in a party of level 7s is not. Even if there are others that are also level 4 with you, it takes away the sting for a bit, but like, damn, they could do all this shit and I can't. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like I need to. I don't know if, but I think that's just me because I'd like to be equal with the other players so I don't feel like left behind. But
I agree with that as well. I feel like that as well when I play. So yeah.
Crit, do you have any DMing hot takes or unpopular opinion?
Kinda. Like,
Oh.
okay,
Oh.
and this is the one I've been carrying on my shoulder for a while, but like,
Okay. What is
when
it?
Alright.
DMs try to make like a grim dark world,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people don't have it in them to make it right. Where it's like the world is hostile to you, of course. It's all grim dark, you could say, you know. And I love the aesthetic of that, and I love playing through campaigns where you have to like actually struggle. But a lot of DMs see that as like, oh, I'm gonna make everyone an asshole, and everything you do will bite you in the ass, no matter what you do. Like for example, I don't know, we had this campaign. We played 2 sessions and quit. Wonder why? But my character got arrested because he was near a guy who got murdered after my character like left the guy alone, like several minutes before that.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, they were having a pleasant conversation. And so my guy gets arrested for being in the area, which fair enough. And then there's like this whole like trial, quote unquote, in the prison, where they're like, "Well, we see you have defensive wounds on you," and my guy's like, "No, these wounds are from before." And they're like, "No, they're dagger stabs. We can tell." And my guy's like, "Okay, call someone to, check them out, and you'll see that they're not from daggers; they're from arrows, right?"
Uh-huh.
And then all of the guards in the prison collectively decide, okay, grab their daggers and stab the shit out of my guy to prove that like no, it's dagger because they stabbed each of my wounds with a dagger to like make it larger. It's
Yeah.
like cool. So all the guards are assholes. Sure. And the next thing the guy went, hey, wait, guys, maybe we shouldn't stab this innocent man, right? But no, they're just all assholes for no reason, and that kind of pisses me off when just everyone's an asshole, not a single like ray of sunshine in the entire game.
Yeah. What would make a campaign grim dark without being not fun? I get the aesthetic of it, but like how would the gameplay feel? Because like I'm assuming bad consequence, like the whole try to do good but like get rewarded badly is that's
That's
one
not
of the
fun.
aesthetic of grim dark. Like the world's bleak. People have a bleak opinion on the world and everything. That sounds about right. Like a corrupt system as well could be a grim dark. So,
Yeah.
but how to do that without being assholey? That's something I feel.
I feel like just have a bit of brevity here and there. Like, I don't know, if you want to call The Witcher dark fantasy, I think it is.
Kinda,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, even in The Witcher, there's like when Geralt is being like harassed by thugs and shit, right? In the books, like they're gonna say funny shit. He's gonna quit back at them, and like, you know, sure
They're a
things are
person.
dire, they're doing terrible things, but like such memorable quotes like Geralt insults a guy's mom, and the guy's like, "Whoa, he just said that about your mom," and the guy's like, "Mother is sacred, you son of a bitch," and then they start a fight, and it's like a good laugh. It's followed by violence and dark stuff happening, but just that bit of bread makes you before you continue reading. I feel like that kind of
I
makes you
see.
go up and down.
I
But
guess
if you
like
like,
the world is dark, but the story doesn't have to be. I guess.
yeah, yeah, and if the players are too scared to leave their houses, I mean, characters,
Yeah.
if the characters are too scared to leave their houses because they know something's happening, like you're not doing a good job as a dungeon master. You're not incentivizing your players to do anything.
You still gotta
Because
make them want to adventure.
yeah, exactly. Like my character, after the whole stabbing, he survived, managed to escape prison. It's like,
Oh.
okay, I'm not going anywhere. Like, I'm gonna find a house. I'm gonna stay in that house until I heal up, and then I'm gonna live at that house and be a farmer. Fuck this.
I
Cause
mean,
like,
makes sense.
why
It's
wouldn't? Yeah,
traumatic.
yeah, exactly.
Imagine
So, you
like
know.
being ganged up on and just stabbed. You wouldn't like, I don't know.
Well, usually in this sort of grim dark fantasy settings, the protagonist more or less has this lack or sense of, I mean, they lose the sense of self survival. I forgot the term, but they put their priority of their life below everything else, so they're perfectly fine with the shit that's thrown in their face because they don't care, because they'll deal with it. Is usually how grimdark the type I read is how it's portrayed. So I guess it doesn't work if a player character is not into that sort of thing.
I mean, it depends. Have you read The Black Company ever?
Black Company? No, I don't think I have.
It's a very dark book. Don't recommend it to the faint of heart. It says should be followed by a lot of trigger warnings before you open the book. But the main character is, granted, he is working for the murderous mercenaries called the Black Company, and he is their doctor. But there is like, first of all, they're all great towards each other. They're all great characters in their own rights. They sometimes do terrible shit because that's what the job entails. And the main character is sort of well-adjusted. Like, he sees bad things happen. He's like, fuck, that's horrible. I can't do anything about that. Maybe someone better than me can step in, but I'm not gonna get involved. I'm a doctor and a soldier. Like, that is not for me over there. And, you know, having that perspective of a sane person in a world like that helps. And again, brevity while the
I do agree. I think brevity is the right word, because even Guts, even Berserk, for example, have that moment where he just chills in a campfire. Even like they have like backstory with his party, but it's more lighter than the whole. It's not constantly crushing on the character.
Exactly. Because that's how you get a character to have a mental breakdown. And
That's true.
I'm happy
That's
fun
the end.
times.
Unless if that's your purpose, if you want your character to have a mental breakdown, that's a different story entirely.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you
So-
only do it to an NPC. Don't do it to a player.
Oh my god.
Oh
My
my
poor
god.
fiance, I swear. Like, not IRL fiance, but in-game fiance. My god. He just made him go. DM just made him go through his worst nightmare a second time around. It's horrible. Anyway, yeah, anyway. Vor, you're a baby DM. Do you have any DMing hot take?
Okay, let me be honest with you. I just ran a session. I don't know if you want to call it a session, but I just ran a session for my, close family and whatnot. It was hilarious. It was fun, but I necessarily didn't have any like strong opinions about D&D rules because I just saw it as a set of optional rules that I can choose to mismatch and do whatever I want. We weren't playing D&D. We were just playing a role-playing game where everyone was having fun in a magical school.
Yeah,
So
There you go. That's a hot take.
yeah, a hot take. Don't follow the rules.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
That's actually a hot take. Like I have some things to say about that, but yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
For the like, in the end, we were just having fun by the most of it. I don't want to bog them with. These were new players, to be fair. I don't want to bog them with, bonus actions. Oh, you only can move a certain amount of distance. Flight is a difficult thing. Oh, you fell. That's lots of d6 of damage. I was very lenient on everything and whatnot. And also, I didn't.
Yeah, you know what? I think you did a good job there. If you did all that for like a very new party and everything, I think you did a really good job.
Yeah, and I did not prepare anything.
Okay, that's another hot take. You don't need to prepare as a dungeon master.
Use your imagination. Build yourself under
Ooh,
pressure.
It's not that hard to improv. The hot take.
It's so weird because some of my best sessions, like best received sessions from both the parties that I dungeon master, are the ones where I've been sitting, staring at the screen all day, being like, "What the fuck do I write?" And then I don't come up with anything. And then we have the session, and after 4 hours, they're like, "Dude, this was the best session ever. Good job." You're welcome. I got it, bro. Like, I feel bad for feeling good about it.
For me, it's the opposite. The ones where like it's really good and everything. It's usually where like usually in a dungeon where I've prepared everything. It's like varied activity that they can do, and then like if they go there is something that they can do over there. So that's usually my best issue. So that's why I'm a firm believer of you need to at least do some level of prep, because I did one where they're in town. I can improvise what's in the town. Boringest session ever. So yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's up to the DM. It's under a DM basis. Are you good at improv or are you?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not that great, so yeah. Again, based on your skill, know yourself and try out, see what works.
I hopefully next session I'm also hoping on luck that I do well as last time, because I'm not praying anything. I'm just going with the flow.
All right, good luck, my man.
Yeah.
What about Aina? Baby DM Aina. Any hot take?
I don't DM anymore, so I'm just a player. Haha.
You used to DM.
Well, playing is funner than DMing. That's my hot take. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's all we have for the last episode of Rogues Gallery podcast. Season 1. Maybe we'll come back, maybe we won't. Maybe after all these hot takes, people don't want us back. Anyway, that's all we have for you for this week and this whole season 1. Thanks for anyone who comes and have become a normal, a regular viewer this whole 12 weeks. 13 weeks, technically it's 13 because we skipped a week, but yeah, maybe we'll come back, maybe we won't. If you're watching on VOD, let us know if you should come back, and what are your hot takes as a DM or just as a player in general. Really, what are your hot takes about D&D? And yeah, that's all. I want to say we'll see you guys next week, but this is it. This is it.
Join our Discord. Follow us on Twitter.
There you go.
Keep posted for news.
Yeah. Just because Rogues Gallery not gonna continue next week, I'm still gonna post some news. So follow us on Twitter to get up to date on your new stuff.
Yeah. No, you're cool. We won't see you next week. Haha.
Actually, see you in 2 days, which is when our sessions are.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Okay, that's everything. Thank you so much. In the meantime, stay safe and enjoy some healthy dose of D&D meme on your way out. I'll run for a while longer just so you have a bit more to
Bye, friends.
Bye-bye, everyone. Do a normal. Come on.
Do a big cliffhanger where you say something normal.
Alright, okay. Goodbye, everyone. See you next time.
Oof.